Hi, my name is Lexi and today I want to talk about polyamory. I want to talk about what polyamory is, what polyamory isn't, and I want to talk about my backstory and why I'm polyamorous. Polyamory is the practice of or the desire for multiple intimate relationships with consent from all parties involved. So this is what polyamory isn't. Polyamory is not the same as polygamy. Polyamory isn't always jealousy-free. Polyamorous people still get jealous, maybe your partner has a new girlfriend that they're seeing and you get a little bit jealous, but instead of being reactionary and saying whatever comes to mind first and expecting your partner to deal with your feelings. In polyamory, ideally, you want to take responsibility for your own feelings and realize that they're not always rational and your partner isn't going to leave you just because they're seeing somebody new. In general, I feel like I do get less jealous than monogamous people, but that's not to say that I never have anything that bothers me. I just feel like polyamory is worth it. It's worth the jealousy that I have to go through to have a healthy and loving relationship where my partner gets to feel free and happy. Maybe he goes and sees another girl, or maybe he sees another guy, or maybe I have a girlfriend, and the gender doesn't matter. But yeah, maybe my boyfriend comes home happier because he had a great date and he had that new relationship energy, which is a term that we use in poly a lot. New relationship energy is that honeymoon phase where you're so happy and everything's perfect and it's not complicated and you're just giving this new person the best side of yourself, and it's super exciting, all the butterflies and everything. So it's awesome. In polyamory, you can get comfortable with a partner, and I like that. I like feeling comfortable. I like coming home to the same person every day. I like a committed relationship. I also like going out and meeting new people and feeling that new relationship energy. I could make a whole video about how to deal with jealousy. A lot of times I just recognize my jealous feelings and I try to break down exactly why I'm feeling the way I am. And a lot of times when you break down jealousy, you realize that there are other issues wrapped into it, whether it is what society tells you is wrong for your partner to do that's ingrained in your head, or family issues you went through, things that you saw your parents go through together. Maybe you feel less attractive than your partner's new partner. Maybe your relationship is lacking in something. A lot of times when you break down jealousy, you'll find all these other little emotions and problems and reasons why you're feeling the way that you do. So sometimes jealousy is a good thing. You work through it and you come out stronger because of it. Polyamory also is not cheating. In polyamory, you have consent from all parties involved, so everyone knows who's dating who, and everyone's okay with it. That is very important. Communication is key when it comes to polyamory. Polyamory also isn't a lack of commitment. You can be just as committed as a monogamous couple, or you can be just as non-committed as a monogamous couple. How serious you want your relationships to be is totally up to you. For me personally, I really value kind of a traditional relationship. Like, I like to come home to a person who's always there, and I like to solve our issues together and grow together. I have some more things to talk about in regards to polyamory as a whole, different relationship models, what polyamory might look like for you. I am in no way bashing on monogamy. There's nothing wrong with being monogamous. Polyamory is just what I like and what works for me and makes me happy. So definitely don't do something that, you're not comfortable with. I mean, maybe polyamory is a little bit uncomfortable for everyone at first, but it might be worthwhile to you. Maybe this video will resonate with you, or you'll look into it more, and maybe you'll want to try out polyamory, or you're trying polyamory now and you're just listening to other people's experiences about it. Here's the backstory to how I became polyamorous. I want to say I was about 17 years old, still in high school. I've been dating this guy for 3 years, and for the last year of our relationship, we were polyamorous. So altogether, we were dating for 4 years. 3 years into the relationship, I remember sitting in class and my phone, I think it was dead, or I left it at home. I don't know exactly, but I had to borrow my boyfriend's cell phone. I had to borrow his phone so that I could text my dad, and I was doing that, But I saw his text messages and I'd never gone through his phone. We never had any trust issues. You know, I was in high school, I was in love, I was naive. I thought everything was perfect with this guy. And I'll admit, this is kind of a negative backstory, but something really good came out of it. Now I'm polyamorous and I'm super happy and I fucking love it. But I saw his text messages and there was an unsaved number and it was a little bit alarming to me. It looked like a friend or something. So I snooped a little, I looked at the messages, and I found out that it was a girl that him and I both agreed that we weren't going to talk to because she had been flirting with me and she'd been flirting with him. So she was like flirting with both of us. I don't know if she was trying to break us up or what she was trying to do, flirting with both of us. Maybe she was just a huge slut, but not really like in a good way, kind of in a shady way, like not telling all parties involved what's going on. A lot of the messages that they had been sending back and forth all summer were of sexual nature. In high school, it was just the end of the world. I know for a lot of people, it still is the end of the world. It's definitely wrong, for sure. I mean, maybe it wasn't as big of a deal as I made it. I feel like the relationship was salvageable. But he was talking to a girl that we agreed to not talk to, and I was very upset that he was talking to her in a sexual way. In class, I was not paying any attention to the class. I was writing down all of the text messages, pen and paper. I just remember going home and bawling my eyes out. It was really hard to deal with in high school. But what it made me realize later was that it wasn't the fact that he was talking to this girl in a sexual way that bothered me. It was that he was hiding it from me and lying. It was the dishonesty that really got to me. I like to think that had he been honest about his feelings towards this girl and what he wanted to pursue, I feel like it would have been okay with me had it all been honest and consensual for all parties. I did some more research, watched some YouTube videos, read some articles, and I learned more about polyamory, and it really resonated with me, and I'm gonna tell you some of the things that really resonated with me. So I told my boyfriend about what I'd learned because it was 3 years into our relationship. He was just the absolute world to me, treated me so good, and I wanted to save our relationship really badly. What I've learned now, since I've been poly for about the past 3 years, I've learned that polyamory is not a band-aid. You know, if you have trust issues in your relationship and someone betrayed your trust, I don't think that polyamory is necessarily going to fix it. Polyamory wasn't a bad thing, for sure. I definitely enjoyed trying to get him to have relationships and be honest about his feelings with girls that he was talking to or guys that he was talking to. Unfortunately, the trust issues just got worse and worse to the point where I was driving him crazy all the time and checking in on him too much, and the relationship did end. In my second relationship, my boyfriend was not at all interested in being polyamorous, although I did get into adult work with him. He wanted work to be work, and he wanted our relationship to be the only relationship and sex that I had outside of my work, which is generally what a monogamous relationship looks like in the adult industry. So yes, being polyamorous is super helpful in my line of work, but that's not why I'm polyamorous. I really am deeply polyamorous at heart. It's how I like to have my relationships at this point in my life. Although my second relationship wasn't polyamorous per se, I did experiment a little bit. I let him know that I was okay with him having other partners as long as I knew about them. It was all safe, everyone was tested. As many of you know, I've always had feelings for Harmony Wonder. Harmony is the reason I figured out, probably in middle or high school, that I was into girls. So I was super excited to have a threesome with my boyfriend and Harmony, and we did, and I was definitely scared. I didn't know if I'd be comfortable or not. I was afraid that in the middle of like having sex I'd get freaked out by it and uncomfortable and it'd just be bad. Like I didn't know what was going to happen, but I ended up enjoying it. Not just enjoying it, but like I loved it. Now, polyamory does not always mean threesomes or orgies. It's not really a sexual thing. It just means that you can have multiple partners, whether they're romantic, sexual, both. But it was super fucking awesome getting to be with two people who I loved. I enjoy not having to choose. I can just have both. And that's like so cool. I mean, definitely the love that I feel for Harmony isn't going to be the same love that I feel for anybody else. And the love that I feel for anybody else isn't going to be the same that I feel for Harmony or anybody else. Every person that I've ever loved has been unique, and they're just not replaceable. Being able to have both and sharing somebody that I love with somebody that I love was just the best feeling. Like, everything was coming together, all these strong feelings and desires just happening all at once was just so beautiful. Okay, so this is the biggest reason why I'm polyamorous, and it is called compersion. Compersion is the opposite of jealousy. Compersion is feeling happy for your partner. You feel happy when they come home from a date and they had a great time, and you see them glowing, and that's what I want for somebody that I love so much. I want my partner to feel happy and free, and I want them to experience life. And then I want them to come home to me, and I want to love them, and I want to talk about it, and just have all this great energy. It's okay to love new relationships and dating and meeting new people, and it's okay to also want a committed relationship where you come home together every day and cook dinner together and do house chores together. You can have it all. That's like the best part. You can have everything that you want if you just find the right people who are in the right mindset, who want to do the same thing with you. And I love the open communication, you know? In monogamous relationships, a lot of times you don't feel comfortable to tell your partner that you're developing feelings for someone else. Maybe you have a crush on someone at work, but you can't tell your girlfriend or your wife that. Polyamory is so healthy in that sense. I feel like you talk about your feelings and what you can do about them, and you know, maybe your partner will even be okay with you involving this other person in your life, and it's just one of the best feelings. When you're in a successful polyamorous relationship, there's just absolutely no reason to cheat. And not getting cheated on is awesome. You have less rules, so the rules don't get broken. There are many versions of polyamory, and everyone likes something different. You can have primary partners, which are close to monogamy. It's usually maybe the person that you live with, maybe it's the person you want to marry, because you can totally be married and polyamorous. And then maybe you have a couple secondary partners. People who you don't live with, maybe they're not everything for you, maybe they live far away but they just come and visit, maybe they already have a primary partner but you guys still want to see each other. Maybe they're just people you have sex with, maybe they're people that you have feelings for. Some people are polyamorous and all of their partners are equal to each other and there's no hierarchy. Say you're dating someone and you guys decide you want to be polyamorous. You don't necessarily have to share a partner. Maybe your partner goes out and they see other people who you aren't romantically or sexually involved with. That's totally fine. Or maybe you guys share a partner. Everyone's different in how they like their polyamory. For me personally, I like having a primary partner. I like a very committed relationship. I want someone to come home to. I want someone to walk my dog when I'm not home. Like, I want a traditional relationship. I'm totally not opposed to marriage. Maybe 10 years from now, I'll want to have kids with this person. No guarantee on that, though. I can't imagine wanting kids, but of course, I'm young. Like, it can totally change at any time. But I don't want to feel restricted, and I don't want my partner to feel restricted. So maybe I meet someone and they're super important to me and I have feelings for them and I want to have sex every once in a while. You know, like, I have a couple people like that, people who I consider friends, especially in this industry. Friends who are super important to me and I care about them so much, like I would a boyfriend or girlfriend or partner, but maybe they have partners, or maybe I just feel like I can't live with them. There are so many people that I feel like I can spend a day with or go out with or have sex with, but I just can't live with them all the time. I am a huge introvert, so I have to find people who mesh well, and are the right balance between being there and being out of my space and then being in my space. And it's just a really difficult balance for me to find in a person. There are people that I'm talking to, there are people who are really close friends to me who I have sex with or spend the night with. I think monogamy is also totally awesome as long as you don't feel like your partner is owning you or telling you, you can't do this, you can't do that. That's just, it's not really healthy. And I feel like if you're limiting me, do you really love me? Do you really love me if you're not willing to let me be who I want to be? And I'm very free-spirited, so I need someone who can match that. Am I going to be searching forever for a polyamorous vegan partner who's okay with my job? Maybe, but is it gonna be worth it? Fucking absolutely. That's what I want, and I'm not gonna settle for anything less. I am totally at peace with being alone, and I'm totally cool with all of my friends who I seriously deeply love and enjoy spending time with. That is enough for me. I feel like I'm on the right path. I've never been so happy, and I feel so free, and I'm just loving my life, and I feel independent. I don't want to rely on anybody else ever. I don't want somebody to come into my life and change it or rule who I am, and I'm not gonna let it happen. So yeah, this is why I am polyamorous now. If you have any questions about polyamory or anything you want to add to that, just let me know in the comments down below. And hit the notification bell so that you know when I post a new YouTube video, because I'm going to be uploading so fucking regularly. Give me more ideas too of what you want to see me film, because I really do have the hardest time thinking of video ideas, and I got this video idea from a comment on one of my previous YouTube videos, so thank you so much to the person who told me that I should make a video about polyamory. I'm really hoping I didn't forget anything. I'm sorry if this video was boring. I'm sorry if you're monogamous and you're mad at me for not being monogamous. I promise you it's gonna be okay. Not everyone has to live the same lifestyle as you. I don't know, I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for watching my video again and listening to me talk about stuff that's not sexual all the time. It's great that you wanna listen to my bullshit.